Welcome to American Dreams, Keys to Success, with your host, Alan Olson.
Welcome back. Today we have with us Rajesh Subramanian. He's the CEO of EmbedUR right here in Silicon Valley. Welcome to today's show.
Good morning, Alan, and thank you for having me here. It's great to be back here.
Thank you. Hey, Rajesh, can you give me some background on yourself, education, your little bit of history?
Definitely. I was born in India, and I grew up in India and finished my schooling, finished my undergraduate degree in engineering in India, and then moved to the States to pursue my master's in electrical engineering. I completed my master's in electrical engineering here and then moved to the Bay Area and subsequently started working for one of the companies here in the Valley. Before
you came over to pursue your master's degree, you had a number of years' experience in India?
Primarily as a student. I've never worked in India before I came to the United States. So I grew up, went to school, got my high school degree, and then went straight to undergrad, finished my undergrad, and there was a great opportunity to go to the United States to learn. And a master's degree in electrical engineering sounded extremely promising. And I moved to the States. And my first job that I ever started working for anybody was back here in the States.
Pretty much your career has been set here in this country then.
Absolutely. So professionally, my career started here in the United States. And this is where I kind of learned how to kind of engineer solutions, how to work with companies, how to work with teams. Everything started here for me in the States.
Okay, so now you're recently launching this company. Actually, it's what, about 6 years old?
Almost 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yes.
Okay, well, tell me about EmbedUR.
To give you a background on EmbedUR Systems, we started EmbedUR Systems in 2004, and the primary focus is to go after and look for product development engineering opportunities in the telecom and data networking space. So primarily focusing on wireless networking, wired networking, cable modem termination systems, cable modems, EMTAs as they call it, essentially working to build equipments that serve into our customers, which in turn goes out to Comcast or Charter or Time Warner or AT&T. So those are the kind of products, the vertical areas of focus that we try and adhere to and build products for.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're moving into the wireless space. Of course, there was already a lot of people in the wireless space.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of wireless, we kind of help our customers bring products to market. Mm-hmm. And we work with them to design and build engineering products for wireless industry.
Why did you want to do this?
Why did I want to do this? It's a very interesting question. Growing up, and I've always been thinking that, I needed to move out of India, go get my studies abroad, and U.S. was a very favorite destination back when I grew up. And the main idea was to be able to contribute in my own small way, to be able to make a difference for myself, make a difference for my family, and make a difference for my community. So that was always lingering at the back of my mind as I grew up, as I saw other people who were in business and how they kind of built their business up. That was something that fascinated me always. And I thought if I could start small and give it my 150%, it would be a great way to go. And that's what prompted me to kind of go after this.
So coming up with the idea, though, was just suddenly like, I'm going to go do the wireless. And
we said, let's go take on product engineering. And we were building all these optical boxes because the 2000 era was all around the optical boom. MCI, WorldCom, and AT&T, everybody was thinking that the 10 gig opportunity, 40 gig fiber optic was going to go big. And so we started off by kind of looking at that market and trying to build products there. And eventually, since networking grew, wireless became a new vertical. We started focusing on that because that's where our background was in networking. And it was a natural transition to wireless.
We're visiting here today with Rajesh Subramanian. He's the CEO of EmbedUR, located here in the Silicon Valley. It's a company to be reckoned with. It's on a rapid growth plan. And Rajesh, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Thank you.
Nothing's more important than spending time with your family.
At Greenstone Rogoff Olson Company, we're trusted advisors to the highly successful. Our goal is to help you find the right strategy to protect your wealth for yourself and those you love. Kids! Why do I feel like I've just had an audit? As trusted advisors of the highly successful, we'll make sure that you don't lose your shirt.
Roco helping you along the way.
Apple pie, baseball, and now here's All-American Alan Olson.
Welcome back. We're visiting here today with Rajesh Subramanian of EmbedUR. He's a CEO, and they're focused into the wireless network community, cable modems, and wired. The term EmbedUR infers the embedded software. So, for our listener, can you talk about what is embedded software?
Many times when we walk into our house, when we walk in airports, or we go to a movie theater, there are a lot of devices around us. I mean, we use a cell phone most of the times these days. You use an iPhone, you use an Android phone. You walk into the house, you have a device that provides internet service to your house. So we take all of those devices, and when you look at what makes them function, there is significant amount of hardware, which is basically the electronics that go into these boxes or devices. And then there's also a software component that basically makes these boxes run, except most of these boxes do not need a human interaction, much like your desktop or a computer. But they function by themselves. They have software that runs them, controls them, and makes them provide the service that makes a user experience better. And those are embedded devices, and the software that runs on them is called embedded software.
So it's more common today than ever before.
Absolutely. Millions and millions of devices are out there these days, and it's growing tremendously. It's a huge market space, and embedded software is pervasive these days.
Now, your company's on a real roll right now. I think it's a pretty aggressive growth track. Some of your clients are common household names.
Absolutely.
But what did your company start to grow? Let's start back to the beginning. You have an idea, a vision. I'm going to do an embedded software company. You go rent and lease space, and you say, okay, I'm in business now. Now what?
Yes. Yeah, we started, we put up the banner, we leased the space. This was back in 2005, Jan, moved into the space, and we started looking for customers. And the growth was a little slow the first couple of years.
Yeah, what did it take to get that first customer?
It took around 7 to 8 months. It took around a lot of toil. It took many presentations and talking to many different people, because a lot of companies do not want to give away projects till they build credibility and trust, because you want to know whether this company is going to survive to help build the product. So it took the first couple of years or first 8 months to land our first customer, and then we had to prove our credibility, and then we had to slowly grow, organic growth, the first 4 years, and it was around 2009. The year 2009 was the big year of the recession, and the first half of the year was really bad, but the second half of the year is when we actually started to grow.
2009, you timed it just perfect. With the financial markets collapsing, your business is getting ready to grow.
Yes, yeah.
And hopefully you didn't need to go down the bank and ask for a loan at that time.
Well, we were very close. I still remember 2009, Feb 24th was the time when all contracts, all projects were on a shutdown mode. I had gotten calls from every one of our customers saying, our budgets are cutting down, we cannot afford to continue. And Feb 24th was like, I turned around and asked myself, do I really want to do this? And I said, we've come this far, it's important that we continue, and we need to be fiscally responsible. So we kind of went into a mode of cash preservation, because we didn't want to go trust the banks to lend us money, because we wouldn't know what it would take in an environment like that. And we kind of went into a cocoon, and it was around August to September timeframe where, because of our fiscal discipline, cutting down some of our overheads, basically taking a salary cut, made the difference. So when we were ready, we were really ready to launch.
You know, I think people that have done their businesses realize that it's done at great sacrifice. Few companies can hit the ground running and say, I'm profitable from day one. It's usually on this, pivotal point of, do I have what it takes? Am I willing to sacrifice what I have in front of me to fulfill this dream? And Absolutely. It sounds that's exactly what happened. For 6 months, you were in a lockdown mode, pulling back salaries and getting this thing ready.
Absolutely, and you just nailed it. I mean, there's always a backstory to every success, and our backstory was every employee had to make a sacrifice, the team had to make a sacrifice, our families had to make a sacrifice for us to stay together as a team and be able to grow.
Yeah, we're visiting here today with Rajesh Subramanian. He is the CEO of EmbedUR. It's a company that is on a fast growth track here in Silicon Valley. And we have to take a quick break, Rajesh, but can I hold you over for another segment?
Definitely.
Okay, we're going to talk about where EmbedUR is today and the future plans for growth out there. We'll be right back after these messages.
Protecting your family's health and welfare is a sacred trust. At Greenstein Rogoff Olson Company, we know that sound financial planning will protect them now and in the future. We're certified public accountants with tax services for the highly successful. For your business and your family, call GrowCo.
Greenstein Rogoff Olson Company will help you manage your financial affairs so you can focus on what's really important in life.
GrowCo, helping you along the way.
Apple pie, baseball, and now here's All-American Alan Olson.
Welcome back. We're here today visiting with Rajesh Subramanian. He's the CEO of EmbedUR. And before the break, we're visiting with Rajesh on why he got into EmbedUR, starting your own business. And we went through the process of that. It was after a great sacrifice and realization that this company, this dream needed to be lived out. And we'll pick it up from here. So now we're back in August 2009.
Yep.
And your customers are now starting to come in on a regular basis.
So back in 2009, we landed a big opportunity because we continued to deliver to one of our customers. And I look at the three important things, and I say CEO. CEO makes it happen. And I'm not talking about myself here. I'm just saying CEO in our perspective means three important things. The letter C stands for our customers. The letter E stands for our engineering organization. And the letter O stands for our overheads. So we want to be good at making sure that we keep our customers happy. And we wanted to make sure that we keep our engineering efficiencies and deliver to quality and build a great engineering team. I mean, some of the team that we've put together, the members of our team, are just phenomenal industry experienced veterans with 15 to 18 years of experience. And if I were to name some of them, Abhishek Sharma, John Marconi, Samir Virmani, Pervez Mota, Jim Kessler, I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And every member of our team has made a huge contribution to be able to make our products, whatever we design for our customers, extremely successful and provide the highest quality and make sure we deliver our projects within budget. And that started happening back in 2009. Because of this team, we started delivering more. We started setting expectations and we delivered to those expectations. While we were doing this, we also had to make sure that we grew in a manner and shape that didn't exceed or bring down our gross margins. So we were very conscious of our overheads. So
Rajesh, easier said than done. You know, the common thread there is in a new company, surround yourself by great people. How do you convince the talent coming in that you have a better mousetrap, that your company is the one for them?
It's very tough, Alan, and convincing them. It's been one fundamental thing that I believe in, that all of us believe in, is we need to make sure that we are on the bus and going towards the same destination. And as long as we have a plan, and I discuss this with all of our employees and even with everybody in our team, and as a team we all believe plan to fail to plan is a plan to fail. So we have a plan. We know where we want to go. We know what our three-year goal is. We know what our 5-year goal is. And when I go back and sit down with each and every person when we bring them on board and explain that this is what we are after, then as long as they sign up for those deliverables and they believe in it, then we are all aligned. And that's what makes the difference.
When you're aligning the team together and you say, this is our 3-year, this is our 5-year plan, is it difficult to get that implemented, getting everybody on board?
Absolutely, because getting it implemented takes us to the next level where there are challenges because, I heard some of the famous companies around the Bay Area, especially Intel, has this great policy which says disagree but commit. And you have to have that level of maturity amongst the engineering team members, because not everybody may believe in making certain things happen. And it's important for us to be able to get to a consensus of saying this is what we want to achieve, but these are the milestones that we absolutely need to hit in terms of financial goals, in terms of engineering goals, and then trying to see how we can scale the organization and set up levels of supervision and basically have oversight. So yes, it is difficult, but then it's taken a lot of time to be able to propagate that all the way to every employee.
What keeps you up at night?
A lot of different things. I think I feel like we've just started our business. Though it's been 8 years, I finally feel that we've just started our business because some of our customers recognize our name now. We are known in many companies in the Valley these days, especially with customers whom we work with. And the biggest thing is quarter to quarter. It's almost like companies are planning based on how they project their results quarter to quarter. So the budgets are so dynamic these days that every quarter things change so rapidly. Now, dealing with change makes it very hard to forecast what our revenue goals are for the remainder of the year based on what our customers tell us, because it's going to change every 3 months. So that's what keeps me up at night. How do we still meet our revenue goals and keep our gross margin goals identical as we planned for at the beginning of the year when something changes so rapidly and so quickly? That's what keeps me up at night.
It's not easy. It's kind of like you're trying to navigate a river of change.
Yes.
And I think your plan is to double staff this year.
Absolutely. We are looking at growing tremendously this year, and yes, and we want to grow and scale well this year.
So as you scale, you got to get more office space, infrastructure. And then, the companies never grow linear from a financial standpoint because you're always trying to hire ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
You got your HR directors, you got your, the next level of VP scaling down. And also, with EmbedUR, you're not only in this country, aren't you doing contract work in another country too? Or?
Yes, we have a offshore development center in India. And our India office primarily provides a lot of support and engineering support and also engineering maintenance for some of our customers' products.
So 5 years from now, you mentioned you got a 3 to 5 year plan. Where do you think you'll be in 5 years?
5 years from now, we really are looking at least 150 people company, and we want to be able to grow revenues up to $35 million. Those are our real aggressive goals, and essentially scale based on having more offices, being able to address products that EmbedUR can create, and also provide engineering service design for some of our other customers.
Ideal customer is?
Ideal customers, Cisco Systems, and companies like Aris, companies like Sumitomo Electric. These are big multinational Fortune 500 companies. So
as they grow, they're going to be looking for your services to help assist in scaling companies.
Absolutely. And we think that growth curve is there, and especially the wireless industry is growing tremendously. And since we provide a lot of product engineering services for our customers in that area, we expect this industry to grow all across the world. As a result, our services are also going to grow.
How do they contact you, Rajesh?
Go to our website, www.embedur.com, and get all the information over there. It lists all of our service offerings and also tells people where our offices are located.
We've been visiting here today with Rajesh Subramanian, CEO of EmbedUR. Rajesh, thank you for joining today's show.
Thank you very much, Alan. Thanks for having me here.
We'll be right back after these messages.
You're listening to American Dreams with Alan Olson on AM 1220 KDOW.